Hi, welcome back. Today there are some new fish for the tank. They're gold barbs. So I'm going to just make a video of how I acclimatize them and check the water parameters before I add them into the tank here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put them in the tank, just so the temperatures between the bag that's come from the pet shop and the temperature in the tank can equalize. So here's 5 barbs, and they're pretty big. They seem to be in the tank in the pet shop for a while. So I'm just going to go ahead and untie this and put them in the tank for 15 minutes. And while that's happening, I will check the water parameters, pH and hardness, etc., just to see what it's like. So one thing I like to do is just turn the light off. Just seems to reduce stress on the new additions to the tank. So these guys are in here now, and the guppies have come over to welcome them. They always seem to enjoy welcoming their new tank mates. And I'm just going to leave them for 15 minutes just to acclimatize, and I'm going to check the water temperature now. So the temperature here in my tank is 24.3, and the temperature here in the water from the pet shop seems to be a little higher. It's going up there to 24.8, so there's not much of a difference. 24.8 and 24.3. So it shouldn't take too long to acclimatize. So the next thing to check is the pH. This is a cheap pH meter, but it's been calibrated. So if I just check my tank, just takes a minute to settle. So my tank is 8.3, 8.2, and the aquarium water just happens to be around the same. So that's fortunate. The tank and the aquarium are within 0.1. They're actually matched, so it's no problem just to go ahead and add these golden barbs straight away. But these pH meters are not the most accurate in the world, but they'll let you know at least if it's a 7 or an 8. So what I'm going to do is, after 15 minutes, I'm going to add a little bit of the tank water to here. Just 2 cupfuls, just to acclimatize these new fish. Now, just while we're waiting for the fish to acclimatize, I thought I'd go ahead and take a sample of the water from the pet shop and just check the hardness of it. So the pH is 8.2, and I'm just going to run the Salifert or KH test and see how hard the water is there from the pet shop. So with the Salifert test kit, it's telling me it's 0.45 on this titration syringe, and over here 0.44 and 0.46 is the range I'm looking for. So the hardness of the aquarium tank water is somewhere between 8.6 and 8.3. So my tank is 7.7, so that's fairly close. So the fish shouldn't be too stressed by that change in hardness by 1 degree. Now, just out of curiosity, I'm going to measure the nitrates in the aquarium tank water sample that I got. The nitrates in my own tank are about 2.5, and I'm going to compare that to the water that the new fish were living in the pet shop. So the nitrate test is run through, and they're quite high. They're somewhere between 50 and 100. So it's probably all the tanks in the fish store sharing the water between each tank. But 50 is quite stressful. So I'm going to dilute the water in the bag anyway, which will dilute the nitrates and hopefully minimize the shock to the fish as well. I've also started API Ammonia Test, and that just has a couple of minutes to run, but it's already looking like there's 0.5 ammonia in there in the bag, but that could be just from the fish from being transported there. But it just shows the importance of getting the fish home and in the tank as soon as possible. So when this test is finished, I'll come back and just verify what the final number is. So the test is run through, and the final number is somewhere between 0.5 and 1. So it really just emphasizes how important it is for the fish to be transported from the pet shop to your aquarium as soon as possible. So now it's time to net the fish and put them in the tank and see how they're doing. It was a bit hard to hold the camera and net the fish, so I just went ahead and did that, and they seem to be adjusting to their new home quite well. I'm going to leave the light off for a couple of hours just so they calm down and it's not as stressful on them. But yeah, there's lots of space in this. It's a 20-gallon tank, 85 litres including the external canister, so there's plenty of capacity here. But I hope this video has helped to appreciate how important it is to get your fish home from the pet shop and acclimatized and in the tank. Thanks for watching. Bye now.